Next is a young woman who moved from Nashville to New York this year and seems bent on global domination. Her parents named her after James Taylor, and her fans are called Swifties. If you haven't guessed her name by now, you are clearly living under a very large rock. One magazine headline said it best: Taylor Swift is the music industry.
We're endorsing Taylor Swift as an artist that will have the best long-term future from this point on. As a team, we have agreed that Taylor Swift is a young, successful artist that has a lot of potential to thrive many years down the road.
He said the way my blue eyes shine.
Taylor Swift was born on December 13, 1989 in Reading, Pennsylvania. She was influenced to sing by many singers, such as her grandmother, who sang to her at a young age. At the age of 9, Taylor Swift became interested in musical theater and performed in 4 productions. She started singing in 2004 when she was signed by Big Machine Records. She was the youngest artist ever signed by the publishing house. As an artist, Taylor Swift uses her life experiences as an inspiration for her work.
Who should be rudely barging in on a white bed occasion.
In her career, Taylor Swift has created a brand that includes cultivating an image that is relatable to a broad spectrum of people. She established this image with the use of the values that she portrays to her fans and her audience. Some of these values include being family-oriented by expressing the love that she has for her family. She expresses humility and authentic character by admitting when she's wrong. She also expresses the value in her fans and personal bonds through having personal and heartfelt interactions with her fans.
Remember me, standing in a nice dress, staring at the sun.
The impact Taylor Swift had on the first half of her career mainly revolved around her being a pioneer in the music country scene. Taylor's successful debut song was her country single, Tim McGraw, which is now certified platinum and has sold over 1 million copies, and she only wrote this at the age of 16. When she wrote this song, she was able to garner younger fans for the country music scene. Usually the demographics for this was people aged around 25 to 54, but Taylor was able to gain younger fans. John Shambi, a Nash Network Director of Programming, has said that she was the first one to ever do this, as she wrote for that specific age. In addition, Taylor Swift's social media presence was very big even early on in her career. She launched a MySpace account in 2005 and released her music there, where she was able to gain 45 million streams. And this was very influential as it helped encourage radio stations to play her singles. Also, Taylor is a known advocate for fan interaction and engagement. Taylor is known for having very intimate and personal meetings with her fans. In addition, she has also inspired more country singers during the first half of her career. An example would be Kelsa Ballerini. She has also set an example in the country music industry with her 2-year album cycle. Most country artists would release every 12 to 18 months, whereas Taylor Swift was a different one. In fact, what she did has even become more of an industry standard. Taylor Swift has expanded internationally, has broadened her fan base, and she also helped destigmatize country music and made it more pop.
Skies, I could show you incredible things. Stolen kisses, pretty.
Starting from 2012 to now, Taylor Swift's impact in the music industry still continues. Now she's known for being a marketing genius. What she does is she sees the advantages of headlines, and she's not afraid of any risks and controversies. Anytime there's any news articles released about any scandals or rumors, she knows how to turn the situation always into her favor and is able to market herself through it. She's also known for having a lot of publicity stunts, which in turn is usually successful for any upcoming album releases and whatnot. In addition, Taylor is known for turning scandals into profits. Any past relationships or celebrity feuds is usually material that she uses in her songwriting, which usually attracts a lot of attention and buzz, and this can really allow her to just grow her brand image and presence everywhere, especially in social media. Moving on to social media, actually, she has millions of followers, domestic and international, and all social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. She has millions upon millions of followers. Taylor is known for being very strong in the streaming industry. A couple years back, she has boycotted Spotify and has not allowed them to release or distribute any of her music, and she also had a confrontation with Apple Music, in which she argued that they were not fairly distributing pay during their free trial and that artists were not receiving the royalties they deserve. And in turn, her actions was able to actually convince Apple Music to fairly distribute pay. And this really just highlights what an impact she has in such an industry. Taylor Swift also eventually came back to Spotify, and when she did, her latest single, Look What You Made Me Do, had 10 million streams on its first day. So this graph shows Taylor Swift album sales from 1989, which is her current album up to date. And as you can see, the sales in these numbers are very impressive, and it just shows how strong her presence is domestically. And this graph just really highlights how strong Taylor Swift's presence is internationally and even more domestically in comparison to other big artists in America. As you can see, Taylor Swift surpasses many big names such as Pharrell, Ariana Grande, and even the Chainsmokers.
So take a look what you've done, 'cause baby now we got bad blood.
In order to have a greater understanding of Taylor Swift's longevity in the music industry, we will compare her success with two of pop culture's most influential female artists, Beyoncé and Madonna.
Y'all haters corny with that.
Starting with Beyoncé, we looked at where she began her career as a part of Destiny's Child in 1990. We can see the true value in Taylor Swift's ability to break into the music industry on her own and so smoothly at such a young age, compared to Beyoncé's initial struggle with the group before breaking off and using her established reputation to make a solo career for herself. Here, she became an image of sex appeal, coupled with confidence and feminism, an image she maintains today. On the other hand, Taylor Swift has changed and is consistently evolving her image to the public, starting as a small-town girl, growing into a woman, and now on her next stage as a bad girl brand. While Beyoncé has certainly maintained her relevancy with her image, Swift's ability to redefine herself opens her up to larger demographics and appeals to her audience of women that grew up with her music and with her. Swift grabbed onto this younger demographic early in her career and has been able to connect with her fans and create an evolving bond. This can be seen most clearly in Swift's social media, which she uses to connect directly with her fans. Also, Swift uses her Instagram as a way to create anticipation, most famously with her recent album, Reputation. Beyoncé's social media, instead, is a collage of perfect pictures exemplifying her idyllic lifestyle. On terms of distribution strategy, Beyoncé chooses to have her work exclusively available through streaming on Tidal, which hinders her ability to gain new listeners in a world where online availability is the easier option, and most people choose Spotify or Apple Music. Looking at the awards nominated and received, one could see in approximately 10 years, half as long as Beyoncé's career, Swift has received an impressive amount of awards, with a difference of only 29. Internationally, it has been found that Beyoncé has been able to create a global brand, but more through her endorsements and brand presence compared to her music, whereas Swift has been able to appeal worldwide through her music business. This graph clearly highlights Taylor Swift's success in album sales compared to Beyoncé, and the numbers ultimately are more consistent and more successful. This is impressive because Swift hasn't been in the industry as long as Beyoncé.
Like an angel sighing, I have no choice, I hear.
Madonna's success is more of a rags to riches story, with the persona of a powerful and in-control woman. Her fans bought into her aspiring past as a struggling artist moving to New York City, and how she brought such life and unpredictability into the music industry. However, it was her inability to connect with the new generation that has been her brand's ultimate downfall. In this modern world, social media has become the bridge between the hedonistic worlds of celebrities and their fans. Madonna, however, has shied away from incorporating it into her image for years because of her lack of comfort in the media. Upon realizing the damage this has done to her brand, Madonna has scrambled to connect with these younger generations. Unfortunately, it seems that with each attempt taken, her image suffers. 3 in 5 young adults think of her to be embarrassing, and millennials in general are highly distrustful of Madonna. In a study by a marketing professor at the University of Southern California, Madonna is supposedly 17 times less influential than Taylor Swift. In terms of distribution, Madonna, like Beyoncé, is another face related to Tidal, another streaming service similar to Spotify or Apple Music. Her reputation has received even more backlash from this, as it made her seem profit-hungry to her fans. Taylor Swift, in comparison, is seen as an advocate for fair pay distribution, ensuring that artists are receiving proper royalties from Apple Music. Interestingly enough, Swift and Madonna are almost equals when one looks at rewards earned, and in fact, Swift is the highest paid female artist in 2016, making nearly $100 million more than Madonna despite not having come out with a new album since 2014. Comparing these two figures with Taylor Swift's career exemplifies her unique stature in the music industry, and her early success is a clear indicator of a prosperous future and, in the end, longevity.
This graph shows the number of records sold throughout all these artists' careers. Taylor Swift at age 29 has sold 26 million records. Madonna at around her 50s has sold 300 million. By the time Taylor Swift reaches her 50s, she should beat the record of 300 records sold.
I don't like your perfect crime. How you.
Taylor Swift reveals a lot about her life because of a personal nature of lyrics and songwriting. Her values can overpower her music profit. In 2015, Taylor argued against Apple for insufficient payments to artists when consumers were using Apple's free 3-month trial and got Apple to reverse it. Also, her battles with music streaming services. Women need their careers to be colored with drama, publicity, and evolution to maintain relevance within the music industry. It is much more of a commitment to be a fan of female music artists than male. Men dominate the music charts, especially nowadays with the prevalence of rap music. Female rappers and a few are far behind. Female population is a strong demographic to break. You have to hook them young, loyalty will maintain, and they will have emotional attachment.
Knew he was a killer. First time that I saw him. Wonder how many girls he had left and left haunted.
Now we'll be moving on to future prospects. Taylor brands herself in a way that creates valuable, unique, and memorable experiences for her fans, ensuring dominance nationally and internationally. One method she does this is inducing the fear of missing out. She does this by selling limited edition releases on her albums. She also released an app called The Swift Life, allowing her fans to reach out to her wherever on their mobile phones. Taylor Swift is endorsed by Kids, Apple, DirecTV, Diet Coke, and AT&T.
Are you ready for it?
In conclusion, Taylor Swift offers a highly diverse and futuristic portfolio in her promotional and branding strategy. She offers a unique combination of great music and non-music offerings, such as her dominance in the social media network. She is internationally recognized as well, just like senior peers such as Madonna and Beyonce. Taylor Swift has had tremendous growth trajectory, offering evidence for potentially iconic success in the next 10 to 15 years. All of this evidence leads us to believe that Taylor Swift is the most standout among her peers and her competitors, and that she will have the most long-lasting success.